Shalom, I'm Miguel and this is Middle East in less than 5 minutes. Today we are talking about 1753, Britain, and one of the strangest explosions of antisemitism in modern history. A bill that would have changed almost nothing triggered a national panic. Jews were accused of plotting to buy England, circumcise Christians, and turn Britain into New Jerusalem. The government caved, the bill was repealed, and the episode revealed something important: how quickly civilized societies can descend into anti-Semitic hysteria. Let's talk about the Jew Bill in 1753. The background: mid-18th century Britain. Around 8,000 Jews live there, mostly in London. Two communities: Sephardic Jews, wealthy merchants from Spain and Portugal, and Ashkenazi Jews, poorer immigrants from Germany and Poland. The Sephardic community was prominent, involved in trade, finance, and stock trading. Indistinguishable from the British upper class. Country mansions, fashionable clothes integrated into society. One key figure, Sampson Gideon, Jewish financier. During the Jacobite Rising of 1745, he strengthened the stock market, kept the British economy stable. Jewish volunteers defended London. The Jews had proven their loyalties, their value, their contribution to Britain. And there was a problem: foreign-born Jews couldn't be naturalized. The problem: to become a naturalized British citizen, you had to take Anglican Holy Communion, the sacrament, body and blood of Christ. Jews couldn't do that. It violated their religious belief. So foreign-born Jews, even if wealthy, productive and loyal, remained aliens, subject to special taxes, couldn't own land, and restricted in trade. British-born Jews didn't have this problem. They had full rights. But wealthy foreign Jewish merchant stuck. The solution: the Jew Bill. January 1753. Joseph Salvador, prominent Sephardic Jew, active in the East Indian Company, approached the Duke of Newcastle. Request: allow Jews to be naturalized by Parliament without taking the sacrament. Replace the communion requirement with oath of supremacy and allegiance. Narrow bill. Affected maybe a few dozen wealthy Jews. No change to British-born Jews, no change to anyone else. Prime Minister Henry Pelham backed it, possibly as a reward for Jewish loyalty during the Jacobite Rising. April 1753, bill introduced in the House of Lords. Passed easily. May 1753, bill reaches the House of Commons. Some Tory opposition, they called it abandonment of Christianity, but the Whigs pushed it through. July 7, 1753, royal assent. The Jewish Naturalization Act became law, and then Britain lost its mind. The panic. Immediately after passage, a massive anti-Semitic campaign erupted. Pamphlets, hundreds of them, newspaper articles, political cartoons, street protests. The propaganda was insane. Claims Jews were plotting to buy up all of England, turn Britain into New Jerusalem, make Christianity illegal, force Christians to be circumcised. One pamphlet, News from 100 Years Hence, imagined a future where Jews had taken over Britain, restored their temporal Messiah, and were fighting their way to Jerusalem. Songs warned Britons they were about to lose their liberties, properties, and their foreskins. Seriously, there was an obsession with circumcision, as if granting citizenship to Jews would compromise English masculinity. Cartoons depicted Jews as demons with birds and pointed faces. Greedy, money-obsessed, foreign, dangerous. Sampson Gideon, the man who'd stabilize the economy during a crisis, was portrayed as a greedy, envious demon. Mob unrest. Jews hissed at in a public. Climate of fear. Medieval stereotypes revived. The propaganda drew on medieval antisemitism, blood libel accusations, Jews murder Christian children for their blood, deicide, Jews killed Christ, conspiracy theories, Jews control finance and manipulate governments, foreign infiltrators, Jews can never be truly English, all the old medieval hatred suddenly back. This was 1753, the age of enlightenment, supposed era of reason and progress, and Britain was recycling 500-year-old anti-Semitic lies. The political dimension. What made this worse? It was politically weaponized. Election coming. The Tories used anti-Semitism as a campaign tool. The message: Whigs are betraying Christian England, selling out to the Jews. Earl of Egmont declared any MP who supports the Jew bill will be voted out. It worked. Politicians panicked. The Whigs realized it miscalculated. November 1753, next session of Parliament. The bill was repealed. 6 months. That's how long the Jewish Naturalization Act lasted. From July to December 1753. Any Jews who'd been naturalized, stripped of citizenship. What actually happened? Let's be clear about what the bill actually did. It allowed foreign-born wealthy Jews to apply for naturalization by Parliament without taking communion. That's it. It didn't give Jews any special privileges, didn't change the status of British-born Jews, didn't affect Christians at all. It affected maybe 20-30 wealthy Jewish merchants. And Britain freaked out as if the apocalypse was coming. Why did this happen? Historians puzzle over it. Britain in 1753 had been relatively tolerant. No major anti-Semitic incidents for decades. So why the explosion? Several factors. Economic anxiety. Jews were associated with finance, stock jobbing, money lending, activities seen as morally dubious. Fears that Jews would dominate trade. National identity crisis. What does it mean to be English? Christianity was core to that identity. Jews were seen as alien, foreign, other. Political opportunism. Tories saw a chance to attack the Whig government. Antisemitism was the weapon. Latent prejudice. The medieval stereotypes never disappeared. They were dormant, waiting for a trigger. The Jew bill was that trigger. The irony. Here's the absurd part. Britain already allowed Jewish naturalization in the American colonies. The Plantation Act of 1740. Jews in America could be naturalized after 7 years' residence, without taking communion. No controversy, no panic, no hysteria. Why? Because it was for colonial trade. Far away, not threatening English identity. But the same provision for Jews in England? Unacceptable. The logic? Jews in America are useful. Jews in England are dangerous. The pattern? Scapegoating. The Jew bill controversy fits a pattern we've seen throughout history. Society under stress, economic concerns, political instability, identity crisis. Solution? Blame the Jews. Doesn't matter that Jews are loyal, productive, contributing to society. Doesn't matter that the actual policy is minor and reasonable. What matters? Jews as a perfect scapegoat. Small minority, visible, different, already associated with negative stereotypes. Very easy target. The medieval connection. The propaganda in 1753 drew directly from medieval blood libel. William of Norwich, 1144. First blood libel in England. Boy found dead. Jews blamed, accused of ritual murder. Hugh of Lincoln, 1255. Another dead boy. Jews accused. 19 Jews killed. The boy made a saint. For centuries, Jews in England were accused of murdering Christian children for blood, using it for Passover rituals. Completely false. Judaism explicitly prohibits consuming blood, prohibits murder. But the lie persisted. Jews massacred, communities destroyed, property confiscated. And in 1753, 500 years later, the same medieval stereotypes were recycled. Jews are demons. Jews are conspirators. Jews are threats to Christianity. The Jubilee panic proved the old hatreds never die. They just wait. The Repeal and Aftermath. December 1753. Parliament repealed the act. The anti-Semitic mob won. And what changed? Nothing. Jews in Britain continued living as before. No mass naturalization attempt, no buying up of England, no circumcision campaign, because none of that was ever real. It was all hysteria, paranoia, projection. The Jubilee would have changed almost nothing, but the panic revealed everything. What this teaches us? The Jubilee of 1753 is a case study in how antisemitism works. It's irrational. The actual bill was minor. The reaction was apocalyptic. It's ancient. Medieval blood libels from 600 years earlier were still effective propaganda. It's political. Politicians weaponized antisemitism for electoral gain. It's contagious. Once the panic started, it spread rapidly. Pamphlets, newspapers, street mobs. It's successful. The campaign worked. The government caved. The Jews lost. And here is a key lesson. Civilized societies can descend into anti-Semitic hysteria over nothing. Britain in 1753 was enlightened by 18th century standards, relatively tolerant, economically advanced, and within months it was recycling medieval Jew hatred over a minor procedural bill. The modern echo. Does this sound familiar? Today, Israel faces the same pattern. Minor Israeli policy, explosive international reaction, medieval accusations, political weaponization, mob hysteria. Israel builds apartment in Jerusalem, colonialism, apartheid, genocide. Israel defends itself from rocket attacks, war crimes, ethnic cleansing, new Nazis. The reaction never matches the action. Just like 1753. And the propaganda draws from the same well. Blood libel, conspiracy theories, Jews as demonic threat. Israel targets children. IDF uses disproportionate force. Jews control Western governments. Different words, but the same hatred. The permanence of antisemitism. The Jubilee teaches us something depressing. Antisemitism doesn't need a reason. Jews in 1753 Britain were loyal, productive, integrated, contributing to society. It didn't matter. Jews in 2026 have their own state, democracy, rule of law, minority rights, innovation. It doesn't matter. Antisemitism finds a way. In 1753 it was Jews will circumcise Christians. In 2026 it's Israel is genociding Palestinians. The specific accusation changes. The pattern remains. The Jubilee of 1753 lasted 6 months. A reasonable policy, backed by the government, supported by the elite, destroyed by a campaign of a medieval Jew hatred. And Britain learned nothing. A century later, Jewish emancipation debates were still contentious. The same arguments reappeared. The lesson: societies don't learn. Antisemitism doesn't fade. Enlightenment doesn't cure it. You can be as integrated as the Sephardic Jews of 1753, as valuable, as loyal. Doesn't matter. When the panic starts, facts don't count. In 1753, Britain went mad over a bill that would have naturalized maybe 30 Jews. In 2026, the world goes mad over a Jewish state of 7 million people defending itself. The scale changed. The hatred didn't. And that's the real horror of the Jubilee. It shows how little has changed in 270 years. It's a different century, different country, same antisemitism. If you find this episode helped you see the world differently, or understand some things that bothered you, follow the podcast, rate it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you listen to it, and share it with your friends. Help spread the word. Thank you. I'm Igal, and this was Middle East in less than 5 minutes. Until next time, Shalom.